Hello everyone and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria and we are talking about the new moon occurring in the sign of Scorpio on November 1st of 2024. Now this is a very interesting new moon. Of course it is in the sign of Scorpio, so it always carries a little bit of mystery to it, a little bit of magic to it. But this is coinciding with Halloween, with the celebration, the Day of the Dead. Also can, depending on what culture or religion, belief system you come from, can also be called All Souls Day, All Saints Day, all from October 31st to November 2nd. So it's 3 days of mystical, magical power. The veil is thin, so it's a lot easier for us to connect with the beyond, with the supernatural. And of course, it's days where we honor the dead, honor the past ancestors and loved ones as well, so we can celebrate their life, celebrate them, we can honor them, right? And so again, it depends where you come from, what you may honor or celebrate, or what traditions that you may have. But really the point of this is it's all coming together in this very mysterious energy. Now, this new moon is occurring at 9 degrees, and 9 degrees is actually a Sagittarian degree. And so this can bring in some very exciting aspects to it where we can find freedom. We can look at the big picture. We might get a little bit philosophical. Some of you might get a little bit lucky at this time as well. But the Sagittarian energy, it's like very forward moving. We can have some fun. We can have some excitement. Maybe you can even find some new sources of inspiration at this time. But of course, the new moon in the sign of Scorpio, we need to look at the aspects of Scorpio. And Scorpio is very deep, dark, and mysterious. Scorpio is fixed water energy, ruled traditionally by Mars, and then the modern ruler is Pluto. And we'll talk about that aspect in a minute. But this can be, very spicy kind of energy. Scorpio being fixed water, sometimes we were a little bit reluctant to change or do something a little bit differently, even if we know that we have to. And but we need to focus on transformation, right? We need to focus on change. This is a very powerful time for us all. A lot of planetary aspects going on that are only going to occur once in our lifetimes. And so this is like, a perfect opportunity to make those changes that you're looking to make, to let things go that have been standing in your way. This is a time where secrets and mysteries can come out in the open. It's a time of transformation and rebirth, right? Rising from the ashes. If you've been going through a dark time, this is where you may finally get your butterfly wings and spread your wings to the future and look to the horizon rather than dwelling or looking at or being stuck in the past. So it can be highly transformative in its energy. Scorpio rules your 8th house in astrology, and the 8th house has to do with things that are hidden, the things that we share with other people, specifically our money, death, taxes, power. Where have you given your power away? Where do you need to take your power back? Where is there an abuse of power? And of course, we do have Pluto at the 29th degree in the sign of Capricorn. And Pluto at the time of this new moon is in a building opposition to Mars in the sign of Cancer. So we've got the two rulers of Scorpio opposing each other. And basically both of them at the critical last degree before Pluto moves into Aquarius and before Mars moves into Leo. So this can be a time for you where you feel like, I've got to get something done now. Mars is a fighting planet, right? Mars is filled with anger and fight, and it's a warrior energy, but it's also an energy where we can take action. Mars in Cancer this can be where you're wanting to make changes in the home. There could be some power struggles in the home. Maybe there's some issues with some neighbors. It is an energy to be careful of with Mars and Cancer opposing Pluto, because it's like it can be very challenging. It can be potentially dangerous because there's all-out wars and arguments and things like that. Things that are hidden, right, and get revealed, or things that someone is keeping from you, right, can, be creating a little bit of an opposition. So it's something that in order to work through, we need to remember to not respond in anger. We need to remember to look at things in a solution-based way, or compromise, or an energy of compromising, right, rather than fighting. And oppositions are difficult energies, but there is a window of opportunity there with an opposition to find a middle ground, to talk something out, to find that sweet spot, that compromise that always does exist somewhere if we're willing to see it. But it all depends on how we look at this energy. So if you are in a situation where maybe you're having a power struggle with somebody, where maybe you are engaged in some sort of issues with somebody, and it's how you respond that's going to make or break the situation. It's going to either amplify it in a negative way, or it's going to temper the energy in a little bit more positive way. So it's really important in this energy. And this Mars Cancer opposition to Pluto is going to happen 3 times. Okay, the first one here is November 3rd. It's in the new moon window, right? A couple days after this new moon, but still in the window and very much having an effect. And then it's going to happen again January 3rd, and this will be at 1 degree of Leo and Aquarius. So Mars will be in Leo and Pluto will be in Aquarius by then, okay? And then it will happen again April 27th at the 3rd degree. So we're making progress, right? We're moving forward with something, but there is still this element of fight or flight. There is still this element where something can certainly get out of control. It's an energy where what we do has some sort of consequence. And is it going to be a negative consequence because of our actions, or is it going to be a more positive one? And so it's very important for us to be aware of this energy and what's going on. So when you feel anger welling up within you, it's important to maybe walk away, come back a little bit later when that anger has kind of settled down a little bit, and where you may respond to something in a slightly more positive way. Write the angry email, but don't put anyone in the to line, right? Because when you come back and look at it later, you're like, oh my goodness, I really need to reword this. Right? And we can do that with conversations too, right? Walk away so you can come back in a more positive energy. But we can also use this energy to make magic, right? And, so this Mars-inspired kind of energy, right? We're taking action on something. Pluto, right? Deep, dark, and mysterious energy. And so you can really use this energy to transform and change your life somehow. But it is a big opposition. And we can either build something up or we can tear something down. And there is a big focus with this energy on death and rebirth cycles, right? Something's got to leave, something's got to end, something's got to die for something new or something better to occur and to come in. This energy can also represent power struggles between the home and the public. So Cancerian energy is all about the home. Your home, your private life, what you do in your home, who lives in your home, also can be a very feminine energy, Cancer linked to the moon. So this can be something going on or something that has gone on with specifically women or children in your home. This is also very linked to ancestral energy as well. Capricorn energy, where Pluto is right now at the 29th degree, ruled by Saturn, but this is very public energy. right? This can be companies, corporations. This can be your career, your job, right? It can also be government and structures, right? And so it's like very much a opposing energy between the home and the public life. And you could have something going on, where, perhaps for the last couple of years you've been working from home. And now all of a sudden your company's like, nope, we're done with that. If you want to keep working here, you've got to come back to the office, right? So this is an opposing energy between what we do in our home, or how much time we spend at home, and going out in public, or something with that corporation that is dictating something to us. So there could be something there where you may find that you've got to end something. Maybe you end working there, or perhaps you find the end to your comfort of working from home, right? So it's things like that. We can also see a toppling and a little bit of a rebellion with governments and things like that. And it's very interesting that this new moon does occur just a few days, and this opposition to Pluto, right? Power to the people. Okay, that's what's coming in when Pluto goes to Aquarius on the 19th of November. Power to the people. And so this is a very interesting dynamic that is very much highlighting these government elections, especially the U.S. one that's coming up, I think it's the 5th of November. And expect the unexpected here, folks, right? Fireworks, right? Something unexpected, something may take a turn, a change of direction that we didn't quite expect. There could be certainly some fireworks going off and things like that. So it's just something to kind of keep an eye on. It's really a little bit more interesting than anything else, right? But again, this Mars in Cancer building this opposition to Pluto can be very, very, very challenging, and can potentially really blow things up, okay, per se, right? Something in your home, something with a relationship, something with your career, right? That kind of thing. It's like, boom, something really comes to light there. But of course, this is a wonderful time to practice meditation, to connect with the beyond, very mystical and magical energy, right? We do have at this time, we've got a trine to Saturn in Pisces, and this is very connected with the supernatural, with psychic energy, and with Saturn in Pisces. Pisces is very dreamy. This can be where you're working on something behind the scenes to turn your visions, your dreams, Pisces, into reality, Saturn. And you could be, some of you could be revealing something because you've been doing something in private. Pisces rules the 12th house. The 12th house is endings, right? But it can also be the things that we do behind closed doors, the things that we do in private, the things that we don't share or tell anyone about. And so this can be where you're really working on some goals, working on some dreams. This can be where you're, perhaps becoming a little bit more dedicated to spiritual practice, right? And so it can be very, very interesting in there, right? But we're taking a practical approach at the mystical and the magical and the beyond. So it's a very interesting energy that we've got going on, especially with the Mars-Pluto energy. Pluto, of course, is going to be heading into Aquarius on the 19th of November for the next 20 or so years. And this is like a change of a lifetime, right? So a lot of you may be feeling a sense of urgency at this time to start something new, to try something new, to make those changes in your life that you want to make. And, it's like this final push, right? Aquarius energy is all about the future. Aquarius energy is ruled by Uranus, right? The Great Awakener, very futuristic, but also highly unpredictable, right? And if you've ever known an Aquarian in your life, they tend to be a little bit ahead of their time, a little bit misunderstood, or a lot misunderstood, and they kind of do things that you don't expect them to do sometimes. So, this is part of the ruler being Uranus in there. So we are heading into some very interesting times, and this is really kind of very much helping us to change, transform, and go with the flow. All right. So having said all of that here, guys, let's have a look and let's start to pull some cards for each astrological sign. I'll go through them all. Okay, we're going to pull a Halloween oracle, just keeping in the spirit of the season. We're going to pull a tarot card for each one of you as well. And I'm also going to pull a fortune card, which will also give you some lucky numbers. Use them as you will. But just something a little bit fun to do right around this time, because we do have some fun energy. I mean, Halloween and stuff can be really interesting and really fun. We can tap into our inner child, right? So anyway, so we're gonna do something just a little bit more fun today. So check your timestamps down below. I have everything down there. Good luck in this new moon. Remember to stay grounded, and again, great time for meditation and divination practices of all kinds, and especially to honor your past loved ones and your ancestors. All right, light a candle, put out a plate of food to honor them on the 31st, the 1st, and you know, you just never know. You may get some signs, you may get some sort of messages from beyond that veil. So I thank you guys. Timestamps down below. Hello there, Aries, and welcome to your new moon in Scorpio reading. Now, this is happening in your 8th astrological house, so you are going to be feeling this energy more than some people. The 8th house, of course, is ruled by Scorpio, so this is where you can have a new beginning in your money, especially if you share any money or resources with other people, whether it is a romantic relationship, a friendship, a family partnership, a business partnership, right? So you could be, and endeavoring in a new era with someone. You could be moving in with someone, blending your finances. You could have someone co-sign a loan for you. You can also have inheritance as well, right? That the 8th house does have to do with death, taxes, inheritances, power, maybe get your power back somewhere. And it is, of course, change and transformation of all kinds. So you've got a lot going on. It's very intense energy. You could have a mystery that is revealed at this time as well. You could also find it a little bit easier to find information that you might need. Scorpio is very much known to be an investigative kind of energy. So if there's something that you don't know, something that you need to find out, this can be a great opportunity for you to get new information. And this can help you make changes or do something for your future, and something that can be really positive. Of course, new moons are mostly geared towards new beginnings, but of course, this one being Scorpio energy, we are very much focused on those cycles of life, endings, new beginnings, change, transformation, right? These cycles of life are very much highlighted at this time. So you could find that there's something that you need to let go in order to let the new in. And it doesn't have to be anything brand new. It can be a new way of dealing with an old issue. It can be a new way of handling your money that you already have, right? Out with the old ways. It's not working for you anymore, and we're going to try something a little bit different. Some of you at this time as well can also be paying off loans, getting some financial freedom. Some of you could be doing something like buying a house, taking out a mortgage, all of that kind of stuff. And it maybe gives you, sure, you have debt, but it does set you up for more stability and security for your future, right? Because now it's like, I own my house, right? Well, technically the bank does, at least to start off with, but it's like, this is mine. I'm not renting anymore. I'm not at someone else's mercy, right? And so this can be some wonderful things that can be occurring for you, but change and transformation of all kinds. We have the veil coming out for you. Absolutely perfect card, perfect message for you guys for this new moon being in your 8th house, right? Because very supernatural, very psychic energy. So look beyond the veil. Your senses may be very much heightened at this time. All of ours are, but yours even more so. And so your intuition is guiding you somewhere. You could be having visions. You could be having dreams. You could be seeing all kinds of signs, symbols, synchronicities around you. Pay attention, because it's not a coincidence and it's not an accident. But look beyond today into the future. Where do you want to go? What does your future look like? What is your vision of the future? Because this is a time of great transformation for you where you can really get something going, get something started, take some action to build that better future for yourself. You may also in some way have some visions of the future as well. So again, like your dreams may be showing you something, or perhaps you're just sitting on the couch and, maybe you're watching TV or something, or just, mindlessly scrolling through your phone, and your mind might start to wander, and you may start to have like some sort of daydreams. Your imagination is going, and it could be something that's so real that you can like feel it. It's as if you stepped into your own life movie. And so these things are, very interesting. They can be a little bit prophetic in that energy, right? You can kind of see that vision of the future. So, very imaginative kind of energy that is coming on in for you here as well. But I think you're being guided, you're being shown your path, you're being shown your way, and this is a great time for you to really engage in those mystical and meditative practices. We've got the Two of Wands coming out here for you as your tarot card for this moon. And so this is really cool. The Two of Wands is an energy where it's like, okay, I have an idea, I've got a seed of potential, I've got something new, or I've got something that I want to do. And the Two of Wands is showing you your path forward is clear. The world is your oyster. If you want it, you can get it. You can find it. But we do have to make a little bit of a plan. And that's that Saturn in Pisces trine that we've got with this new moon. So what are you planning to do? Where are you planning to go? What changes are you planning to make, right? Knuckle down, make a little bit of a plan, but also be flexible. Keep your options open, right? Because when the path forward is clear, anything is possible. Anything can happen. The world is your oyster. The Two of Wands can also represent you partnering up with another person. You don't have to do something alone. So there could be new people entering your life right now, or you could be partnering up with someone you already know. It's like, okay, we're in it to win it. We're in it together. Let's get going. Let's get started. So there could certainly be some people in your world that can really help you, or you can help each other on your path to the future. So we've got a fortune card for you guys here, just something a little bit fun. So your fortune is, we have one mouth but two ears. So spend twice as much time listening as talking. Offering your opinions is fine, but try to be brief and to the point. And don't begrudge others the chance to share their views. You don't need to agree. With each attentive moment, you will uncover new perspectives and untold stories. Hear people out and let your presence be a sanctuary where others find understanding. Allow them to feel truly seen and valued. Savor the new connections that may blossom from such encounters. Lend your ears to the world and you will be gifted with expanded understanding and unexpected blessings. Enjoy the harmony that emerges when words and silence are perfectly mixed. And we have your lucky numbers: 44, 63, 57, 2, 35, and 66. Those are your messages, guys. I hope there was something there for you. Good luck in this new moon. I thank you for watching. We're moving on now to Taurus. Hello there, Taurus, and welcome to your new moon and Scorpio reading. This is highlighting your 7th astrological house of relationships. So your relationship with other people, all right? Romantic relationships, friendships, business partnerships, you name it. All right, that's your 7th house energy. So you could be partnering up with new people. You could be healing some relationships at this time. Be very aware of that Mars and Cancer opposition to Pluto, though. Okay, if there's something that you're trying to work out with somebody, just be aware that tempers can flare, and that there can be some anger and frustration and things that come up to the surface. So take that high road. Okay, if if you're having a conversation with someone, it's starting to get really, really heated, right? Sometimes the best thing that we can do is put down our sword and walk away in that moment. Just, try and do something, where we don't respond in anger. Maybe we'll respond with love, kindness, okay? Or maybe our response is, you know what? I think that we're not going to resolve this today. Let's pick this back up, or let's, talk about it a little more later, right? Because that way, the melting pot has a little bit of time to settle down and to cool down. All right. So just be very aware, because that is a very people-y energy with this new moon in your 7th house. Okay. And, so it can just be a little bit challenging with relationships. However, the 7th house can also represent new partnerships coming into existence for you. Your relationship, your partnership with your higher self, okay, very good for really connecting with your higher self, with, with your past ancestors. Very good, actually, energy for that at this new moon. But you could be meeting new romantic partnerships at this time, business partnerships, right? So you can be really meeting new people, or you can be taking something up to the next level as well. All right. We have mummy energy here for you guys. It's time for change. All right. Talk about the energy of this new moon for sure. Now, mummy energy, very interestingly enough, can certainly link to ancestors, right? We don't have modern day mummies typically. So this is an awesome moon for you to, really connect with your ancestral energies. Maybe you've had someone that has passed on in the last few years. You might be thinking about them at this time. Light a candle, right? Light a candle. A white candle is perfectly fine, right? White is, purity, and white can really connect with spirit. It's just a neutral color. You can set intentions for a white candle and make it to be about pretty much anything. But light a candle, and, there's a lot of cultures that do this, and I'm in North America, right? And, a lot of people don't, right? We don't talk about things like this. We don't light a candle necessarily for, people that have passed on. But when we do that, we can sometimes feel a little bit more connected, and you just never know, you may get an answer back. Okay. Usually in the form of a sign, right? Usually in the form of, sometimes in the form of a smell, maybe a whisper, maybe a feeling on your back or something like that. So, a flower or an animal, right, may come in, and it might be something that you associate with this person. But the mummy does bring about change, metamorphosis, transformation of all kinds. So really embrace the power of change, okay? If you have given your power away, it's time for you to take your power back, okay? Very Plutonian kind of thing. If there's something in your life that you don't like, you have the power to change. We need to remember that sometimes, is that if you don't like what you've got, change it, right? You have that power, and sometimes we forget that because we feel powerless in certain situations. And so whatever your situation is, right, there is change in the wind for you. We have the Knight of Swords coming in here as well. Now, the Knight of Swords is quite often a messenger, right? Quite often comes in bringing us some news or information of some kind. So this can certainly be, some messages, some news coming in, whether it's something from, our physical world, or something from the beyond. All right. So again, keep your eyes and ears peeled for some sort of news, messages, signs, that kind of thing. But the Knight of Swords is also about having an idea or getting some information or something and then doing something with it. It's a very fast moving energy. It's like, I've got this, I got to take care of it. I've got this, I've got to do something with it. I have this opportunity, I'm going for it, right? The Knight of Swords is like, I'm going for it. I'm doing it. There's no delay. So if there's been some delay with something, this is where something can shift for you. Something's going to start to happen. If there's been communication issues, this might be where, we get past something, or we can, talk our way past something. You can be some really good news coming in for you here with this as well. But it is something where it's action oriented. All right. Be aware, though, of impulsive energy. Okay, this Knight of Swords is in the upright. Okay, so in theory, we're doing all the right things, we're taking all the right action, but the Knight of Swords is a little bit impulsive as well. So, you may, impulsivity and, quick thinking may certainly go well for you. It may very much work in your favor, but just be aware of making like rash decisions and stuff, especially considering we do have, this opposition that we've got going on, right? So, anyway, so leave that at that, but there could be some very interesting conversations happening for you. Now, I pulled your fortune card, and I got 2 fortune cards out here for you, so I will read them both. All right, and let's just see what we've got. Your first one: it's time to stop waiting for things to get better when you're feeling somber. Rather, start making them better. Start with your perspective. When you are sad, know that things will soon turn around. When you are happy, don't get overzealous and know that it can be taken from you in an instant. It is important not to let these changes destroy you, but instead accept them and know that life is a constant wave of joy and loss. Don't let the waves knock you down. Fight through them, and the entire ocean will be yours. Very interesting. Your lucky numbers: 16, 27, 33, 10, 22, and 43. Now your bonus card, because I was only going to get one. You've had to balance your time recently between work and friends. Your work consists of whatever you are obligated to do, and your play consists of whatever you are not obligated to do. Just remember that better is a person of humble standing who works for oneself than one who plays the great person but lacks food on the table. This is a delicate balance indeed, for if you do not get it right, you may be likened to a tree whose branches are numerous but whose roots are few. The winds come along and uproots it and sweeps it down. You'll soon master this balance. Work and love. These are the basics of life to master indeed. And your lucky numbers off of this one: 42, 25, 41, 45, 44, and 33. That's what I have for you, Taurus. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful new moon. We're going to move on now to Gemini. Hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your new moon and Scorpio reading. This is happening in your 6th astrological house, and you guys could have a little bit of luck on your side. We do have the influence of Jupiter, who is still in your sign, and Jupiter, of course, is our planet of luck, our planet of expansion, growth, can really bring us some wonderful things. Jupiter can help us see the big picture, and all of that kind of stuff, right? So, but you could be feeling a little bit introspective at this time. Maybe you're reflecting on where you want to go, what areas of your life you want to expand, what is working for you right now, what you want to change, right? Because Jupiter can really help us make some very positive changes. But again, you could have a little bit of luck. So this Jupiter energy can really be helping you along your path, along your journey. And your 6th house has to do with your health, happiness, your well-being. Okay, so think of your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health as well. Can also have to do with your daily patterns and habits, right? Your work, your play, your home, right? All of these things. So is there something that you want to do differently? Is there something that you want to change? Is there something that you want to get bigger? Is there something that you need to kind of rein it in a little bit? Jupiter can really help you in all of those aspects. This can be a great time to expand your career horizons, right? Especially with Pluto and Capricorn, right? It's like maybe you're feeling the crunch. Maybe you're feeling like, I got to do something and I got to do it now. So you may be feeling a little bit of a sense of urgency. But with Jupiter there, you are thinking clearly. You may have some big ideas and you're kind of like, okay, how do I make this happen for myself? But you could, again, just have a little bit of luck on your side. We have midnight, the most magical hour of all. Ooh, interesting. Now, of course, we do have a clock on this card. So again, maybe you feel somewhere that the clock is ticking a little bit. Like, if I don't get started now, I'm never going to get this off the ground, right? And so this is really saying to you that the time is now. But midnight energy Oh, sorry, my dog barked at my cat. Midnight energy is very, it's known as the witching hour, right? And depending on your belief systems, depending on your upbringing, right, you may consider the witching hour, or the magical hour of the night. You might consider it to be midnight. You may consider it to be 3 a.m. That goes back to some religious connotations, but really, this middle of the night is the time where the veil is the thinnest, where we can very much connect with the beyond. It's a very mystical energy. And so at this time, you're really being shown that there could be some answers for you, or there could be some guidance for you somewhere that you can't see with your eyes. So we need to turn a little bit inward. We need to reflect a little bit. We need to close our conscious mind, right? We need to quiet our conscious mind that tends to go a mile a minute. And we need to step into a little bit of different energy, because there's something here for you. This can be where you are shown something that is going to help you for your future. If you've been questioning yourself, or anything, if there's things that you want to do and maybe you just haven't quite, had the vision or figured out how to get those things done, right? This is going to be where something is shown to you, right? The path forward highlighted for you. You can light the way. But this is very spiritual energy here for you guys. And of course, the sixth house does have to do with your well-being on all levels, but also, of course, your spiritual health and well-being. And so you're being called to the light. You're being called to spirit with this energy. So whether you meditate, whether you light a candle, it's maybe one of your past loved ones is trying to say hi, or give you some help, or, maybe they just kind of, maybe you are thinking about somebody, right? So light a candle for them. But it's very spiritual, very mystical, very magical energy. So this is very heightened for you at this time. And so expand your spiritual path, perhaps, with this energy, especially with Jupiter in your sign, right? Expansion and growth. Okay. This can also be a little bit of a heads up for you as well, because Jupiter does expand everything it touches, right? But Jupiter can sometimes expand something a little bit too much. So make sure, sixth house, that you are finding balance in your life as well. We can spend too much time in divination, right? If you go to your tarot cards for every single little answer, time to step back from them a little bit. Anyone who has engaged in divination practices for long enough will know that things like tarot and pendulums and all this stuff, it's exhilarating, but it can also turn obsessive. And what'll happen sometimes, if you go back to your cards or your pendulums or whatever it is, over and over and over again, every single day for the same thing over and over and over again, eventually it'll just tell you what you want to hear, right? So your messages will end up being skewed. So just be aware of that. If you have been, losing focus in your life because you're spending too much time with your cards or divination practices, while it is a wonderful thing, again, just like anything else, we do need a little bit of balance. And we've got the moon card coming out there for you guys. All right. So this can be certainly very transformative for you, very mystical, very magical. Okay. Just keep your energy open, keep your eyes open for any kind of sign, symbol, synchronicities for you. But the moon card is about facing our fears as well, right? So if there's something that you've been afraid to do, something that, maybe you've been doubting yourself, right? Maybe you want to make some positive changes with your health. And, this can be like, well, I've done this like 5 times already, and what if I fail again, right? But that's exactly the kind of thing that takes our power away. True power is being fearless. All right. So if you're afraid of something, it's time to face those fears and change your life for the better. But this does represent that there could be something hidden that is revealed at this time. And again, a very deeply spiritual, mystical energy coming in here for you guys. So really take advantage of this moon. Have some fun with it, right? Have some fun with it. The moon card can also, of course, be very much about your dreams, right? What are you dreaming about? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do, right? And of course, pay attention to your dreams as well. It's very creative energy, right? Very creative energy. And so it can certainly be this time where you're being guided to turn your imagination, your vision, your dreams into reality. We have, where are we? Your fortune card here, and I'll read this for you. And there's some lucky numbers there for you too. Your life is a movie, and you're the star. Every moment of your existence is a scene in the same story. Only your unique touch can turn it into a masterpiece. Embrace the power of self-expression as you take center stage. Trust in your ability to advance the plot and shape the narrative. Write a script that satisfies your heart's desires and your soul's longing. Remember that challenges make your story interesting and are stepping stones to growth. Triumphs are shining moments of celebration. With each scene, find the courage to show your vulnerability, love, and joy. Become a nuanced, interesting character. Audiences applaud those who strive to leave an indelible mark and who aren't afraid to show both their strengths and their flaws. Your lucky numbers: 94, 59, 39, 22, 38, and 44. That's what I have for you guys. Good luck in this new moon. I thank you for watching, and we're going to move on now to Cancer. Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to your new moon and Scorpio reading. This can certainly be quite pleasurable for you guys. All right, this is happening in your fifth house. Your fifth house is very creative. This is about the things that bring you happiness and joy, your hobbies, your interests, the things that you create or things you want to create. Also has to do with love and romance, love affairs, things like that. It's a very romantic energy, very playful energy, and very fun energy. So you're being encouraged, of course, to maybe find new ways to have fun. You're being encouraged in this energy to maybe shuffle things around in your life so that you can, start some sort of creative endeavor of some kind. Maybe you want to learn something new, but it's fun for you. It's like, I want to learn this because it looks like it's really fun, right? Of course, this is where if you're single, you can be meeting new people at this time. Great time for you to set some intentions for love and romance, regardless of your situation, right? So whether you're already coupled up with somebody or whether you are looking for that special someone, that someone new, it's a great energy for you all to do that. Now, considering this is new beginnings in your fun zone, shall we say, okay, there could certainly be something that you do need to change in order to maybe bring more love and romance into your life, right? So sometimes even if you've been partnered up with someone for a while, maybe you've kind of fallen into some daily boring habits and routines. And so this can be where maybe you do something new to infuse a little bit more excitement into your love life, right? Romantic dinner or romantic getaway, those kind of things. You could even have a surprise in that regard. Of course, maybe you and your person decide we're going to do something fun together. And maybe you do something like go ballroom dancing or, sign up for a class or something like that, something that you would both enjoy. So you can spend some more time together and just kind of, infuse some fresh life into your relationship. But whatever it is, we're having fun at this new moon. So tap into your inner child. We have the underworld here where all things pause and begin again. Now, the underworld, there could be something that is under the surface and something could be revealed to you at this time. A little bit of mystery and magic. Depending on the culture or the belief system, the underworld can be a place of punishment and trials and tribulations. But in other cultures, it can be a place of peace and renewal, of joy, right? But whatever it happens to be, when we get this particular card in your reading, you are being asked to consider what you need to do in your life to transform your life into something that's easier, more authentic, and more pleasurable for you, right? So what a great energy to come in with your fifth house energy here. Do you need to switch up your daily routines at all? Do you need to look at things from a new or different perspective? Is there something you need to stop doing, right? So whatever it happens to be, we may have this, you may have had some ups and downs. You may have even had periods of stagnation, right? But you are being encouraged to make change. You are being encouraged to take a step back, to pause, and then spring into action. And sometimes we do need to take a step back a little bit. Sometimes we do need to pause and reflect in order to kind of get our bearings a little bit, right? It's like, hold on, let me get my periscope out here. Which direction do I want to go? Okay, that's what it is, right? So we recognize what holds us back, and we recognize what is going to propel us forward, okay? Very big energy of, change and transformation. But we also have the sun coming out. So very interesting energy here, because the sun, of course, brings clarity, brings fun, joy, pleasure, all the things that make us feel good, the things that put a smile on our face. So what a wonderful, wonderful card to come out for you guys. But the sun brings warmth and energy, abundance, success, joy, clarity to things. It shines a light on the things that are hidden in the dark. So you could be getting some sort of epiphany moment at this time, or you could be shining a light on something that is hidden. And this is something that can change your life, or this is recognizing something that's been hidden that you need to address so that your life can change for the better. Focus on the positive, focus on where you want to go. The sun can give us a clear sense of direction as well. But the sun is the happiest card in the entire tarot, okay? And this is very much matching your fifth house. So embrace the energy of the sun, have a little bit of fun, put your worries and troubles aside just for a moment, and embrace your inner child. Your inner child is highlighted with the sun card as well. So your fortune. Oh, how you love to whistle and sing. Oh, how you love to dance and swing. Your future life with joy will ring, will all the happiness it will bring. You have a very sympathetic nature. You devote a great many hours to the welfare of others. You have a very fine mind, and if you cultivate it properly, you will be very successful. You are very fond of sports and love to dance. You have a graceful walk and a determined step. You always walk as though you know exactly where you're going. People respect you for your determination. You will endure some hardship in the near future, but eventually everything will turn out for the best, and unending happiness will be yours. Your lucky numbers: 22, 44, 37, 38, 35, and 20. And one thing that I did forget to mention for you guys especially, we do have Mars in your sign, okay, creating that opposition to Pluto, okay? And so just be, it feels like in this energy, you can really use this energy to your advantage, to work together with somebody, to recognize a block, something that's been preventing you from growing or moving forward. And this Mars energy for you, while we do need to be careful of tempers flaring and anger and things like that, when we get things out in the open, this is where we can deal with things. All right. And with this new moon in your fifth house, right? Yes, it brings, fun and joy and all this stuff, but we can certainly maybe have a little bit more of a pleasant aspect, even with this opposition. So we can look at the positive, right? With that sun, positive outlook, positive kind of conversations, and positive change, right? So just be aware of that Mars in your sign, but I feel like you can use this to infuse fresh energy into something that you want to do. So I'll leave that there for you guys. I hope there was something there for you. Good luck in this new moon, and we will move on now to Leo. Hello there, Leo, and welcome to your new moon in Scorpio reading. Now, this is happening in your fourth astrological house, all right? The fourth house is ruled by Cancer. The fourth house is your house, your home, your family, the things that go on behind closed doors, your ancestry, your mother or your nurturing parent, and your children and your ancestors. Okay, so very, very people-y. Now, just remember that Mars is in Cancer, okay, and with this opposition to Pluto. So there could be something that you really want or need to change in the home. There could be some disagreements about which direction that you want to go in. Maybe you want to move to a new neighborhood, and you may need, of course, someone else's agreement, right? And so this can be a little bit challenging because everyone has different ideas, right? So just be aware of tempers getting a little bit heated and that kind of thing. All right. Because there could be a little bit of drama, a little bit of family drama going on. All right. But the fourth house, you could have a new beginning in your home in some way. Maybe you get new furniture. You could be looking at moving to a new house, right? Scorpio, of course, can have to do with other people's money as well. So, you could be paying off a mortgage. You could be blending families together. That always comes with a little bit of spiciness sometimes. You could be taking out a mortgage, right, to buy yourself a new home, that kind of thing, move to a better neighborhood, or you could be upsizing or downsizing, right? But there could be certainly some changes going on. Now, with this moon highlighting your fourth house, this is about ancestors as well. And of course, the time of the year that we're in, this is about honoring our ancestors. So you might be drawn to do like a past life reading at this time. You could also, really be thinking about a past loved one at this time as well. So, again, like we've already said, do something to honor your past loved ones, right? And if we're thinking about them, there's usually a reason, right? Because they could be, kind of around and checking on you. You could get some sort of signs like a smell, a scent from somewhere, like maybe you waft someone's perfume. I always know when my grandmother is near. My grandparents all died when I was actually very young. But my grandmother that I knew the most, right, because of course they're all back in England, but the grandmother that I knew the most, she passed on when I was 20. But I always know when she's near. She comes to check up on me once in a while, but I always know because I always smell Pall Mall cigarettes. Okay. Now, I would prefer when she shows up that I smell her English lavender talcum powder. That would be much better. But for the most part, it's the Pall Malls. And so anyways, but I know that she's there, and then there's a couple other things that go on. So sometimes it's a scent, sometimes it's a feeling, sometimes it's an energy, sometimes it's maybe a flower or something like that. So this can be a really good time for you to connect with your ancestors. Now, some of you could also be inclined to find out some information about your family tree. And considering we do have the quest for knowledge and investigation with Scorpio energy, and we also have unearthing a mystery with Scorpio energy, and this being about your home and your ancestors and your family, you could be unearthing a family secret. You could be looking up your family tree and putting all that together and following the little puzzle pieces, and you could discover, maybe you have someone famous in your family tree, or maybe you have something a little bit more sinister from, yesteryear or something like that. It can just be something really interesting that you may be inclined to do at this time. We have Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality. Now look at that. Isn't that interesting? Because de los Muertos is the Day of the Dead. Okay, Dia de los Muertos. And this is what is happening right at this moon. And that is, of course, about celebrating and honoring and connecting with our ancestors. So this can really be highlighted for you guys, okay? So this connection beyond the veil is very thin. Whether you want to do a past life reading, it's great time to do some Akashic Records readings, perhaps, or meditations, right? You can connect on your own. You can do past life regression. Again, there's guided meditations that can help you do that, right? If you don't have the money or time to go to a practitioner. But at the very least, light a candle and honor your ancestors, right? It doesn't have to be any more difficult than that. But acceptance and equality is the message that's coming in here with you. So accept the things that you cannot change, right? And recognize the things that are within your power and control. So sometimes acceptance is the key to inner peace and enlightenment. We do sometimes rail at the fates, we reflect on the past, and sometimes we get stuck there a little bit. And this is certainly a time to accept that people in our family are different, accept that we have different personalities or a different outlook on life, even though we grew up in the same house. Accept that you are who you are, right? Accept yourself and other people for their flaws as well as their really positive qualities, because what you might consider a flaw, they might consider an asset, right? Especially in certain areas of life. So acceptance of what is, what has been, and accept that you have the power to change what will be. We also have equality coming in here as well. So if there's been an imbalance of power, okay, Pluto is here to help us change our situation and to balance out some power and order and structure in our lives. When we are out of alignment, when we're imbalanced, right, things just don't feel good. They just don't feel right. So what do you need to do in your world to find a little bit more balance? Now we have here the 10 of Wands, and we've got the 8 of Cups, acceptance, letting something go, moving forward, leaving something behind, recognizing what you can change and recognizing what you can't. So very interesting energy there for you. Okay, the 8 of Cups is, of course, it's one of transition, right? It's one of transformation. We can be leaving one situation behind and heading into something a little different. Now that can be us making positive change and progress in a situation in our life. In order to do that, we got to turn our back. We got to let something go, and we need to keep on moving forward, right? If we continue to bring up the same things over and over and over again, rehashing the old stuff that we can't change, then it's just going to keep us stuck in one place and going around in circles, right? And so that 8 of Cups, we're moving towards the future. Now, what does that future look like? Is it the next stage, the next level of something because we're dealing with our issues and we're moving on from them? Or is it that it's time to really leave something in your dust, really leave something behind and step into a path unknown, step into the future that is currently maybe a little bit unforeseen? All you know is that it's better than where you are right now. So a very transformative energy in there. And of course, we've got the 10 of Wands here as well. And the 10 of Wands, is really saying, what do you need to let go of? What do you need to say no to? What is bringing you stress and anxiety and grief? What is making you feel as though you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders? It's time for a little bit of a change, right? The 10 of Wands is the end of the road. It's like, I'm done with this situation. I need to put up some boundaries. I'm done with this situation. It's causing me too much stress. I need to do something different in my life. So it is a very transformative kind of energy. And it can certainly be where maybe there is someone taking advantage of you, or maybe there is this imbalance of power somewhere, right? And this is like, oh my goodness, this is quite the burden, right? With that 10 of Wands. But the 8 of Cups shows that you have the power to change. You have the power to move into something different, change your circumstances for the better. You might not necessarily know what that looks like right now, but the answer will come to you. All right. This can also be, the message for you where it's time to move forward. It's time to do something a little different. So if you have been procrastinating on something, okay, thinking about something for a while, and you just haven't quite made the progress or haven't quite gotten something off the ground, this energy that is around with this new moon is helping you to do that, giving you the energy, that oomph, that firepower that you've maybe been missing, right? So it can be a really, really powerful time for you for change and transformation. Your fortune. Don't blame others for your failures and mistakes. Take personal responsibility. Own your errors, learn from them, and accept their hard lessons. Interesting, acceptance, right? You are the only one who can truly affect the course of your life. When you blame others, you surrender that agency. If you refuse to take responsibility when things go badly, you can't take credit when things go well. You are the captain of your destiny. Accept the fact that you will occasionally choose the wrong path. When this happens, don't waste time finding who is at fault. Instead, understand what you did wrong, then get back on the right road and continue towards your dreams. The best way to handle defeat is to put it in the past where it belongs. Your lucky numbers: 98, 40, 39, 83, 94, 9. That's what I have for you guys. Good luck in this new moon. I thank you guys for watching. We're moving on now to Virgo. Hello there, Virgo, and welcome to your new moon and Scorpio reading. This is happening in your third astrological house. There could be a lot of communication that is highlighted for you guys at this time. Your third house is ruled by Mercury, okay? And Mercury, fortunately, is direct at this time. So opening up the lines of communication, talking about things, maybe finding compromise as well. Your third house also has to do with your neighborhood. So there could be maybe a little bit of gossip going on in your neighborhood right now, because of course we do have Jupiter in Gemini at the moment, and Gemini rules the third house too. So, or Gemini is associated with the third house. So there could be some kind of chatter or gossip around the neighborhood, maybe some news, maybe get new neighbors at this time. Maybe you could potentially be moving to a new neighborhood as well. This, of course, also has to do with your technology. So some of you could potentially be upgrading your technology, maybe get a new TV, a new phone, a new tablet or something like that. But because this new moon does come with endings as well and surprises, okay, you could have, some of your technology could like blow up and you're like, oh man, now I got to get something new. But maybe it's actually a good thing that you need to get something new, because perhaps your technology was out of date anyway. And now you get the new one and you're like, oh my goodness, this is so fast, or the screen is so clear, or whatever it happens to be. So you could have something going on there as well. Your third house also has to do with short trips. So think of like a little weekend getaway, things like that. So you might be planning a vacation at this time. Maybe you want to try something a little bit different. And it's like, well, we always do this, or we always go here. Let's switch this up a notch, right? Because we're embracing a little bit of change, okay, with this new moon. All right. You might have a change in your travel plans, but it could actually work out fairly well for you. It may cause a little bit of drama to start off with, okay, Mars and Cancer stuff. So it could cause a little bit of drama to start off with, but things could work out well in the end if we embrace the change that is maybe necessary, right? And maybe it's just something very simple as, wherever you wanted to go for a weekend, there's a blizzard and now you can't drive, right? And so maybe now you got to do something just a little bit different, but maybe it works out for the better. Might be cheaper, right? That kind of stuff. So be careful driving. Okay, road rage is a thing, and so just be very careful driving at this time as well. Okay, because with Scorpio energy, something hidden may come out of the blue, and of course, on the 3rd, we do have that opposition with Mars and Pluto. So this can be road rage, angry tempers, and this kind of thing. So just take it easy driving, get your foot off the gas a little bit. We all want to get to A to B as fast as humanly possible, but sometimes that sets us up for a little bit of a dangerous situation. So just be very careful with that. Don't tailgate people. If someone is being aggressive on the road, you know what? Just back off. Okay, just back off, right? Because that'll work out better for you, because remember, this opposition has consequences. Okay, so if we back off, take that high road, take a peaceful approach at something, right, then, someone else can deal with their own consequences and we're not involved in them. Okay, so just be careful of all of that. We have midnight energy here, the most magical hour of all. Okay, so talk about communicating with the beyond. Be very aware of your dreams at this time. Watch for sign, symbol, synchronicities. Of course, this is the witching hour with the midnight energy. So your connection and your ability to connect with the spiritual realms, with the supernatural, with ancestors and all is very much heightened at this time. And those lines of communication are very much open. All right. So, remember, you don't need anything fancy to communicate okay, with spirit, with your higher self, with your past loved ones, with your guides, right? You don't need anything fancy. I like to light a candle. I don't necessarily feel as connected as I want to be if I don't have a candle lit. That's just me. I love candles anyway. I make my own, right? So they always smell really good. But you don't even need that. Maybe just find a quiet space, close your eyes, and allow yourself to drift, right? Calgon, take me away. Maybe because this is water energy, you might want to connect with water in some way as well, right? Maybe you have an inclination to try scrying, right? You can get a bowl of water and, a darkened room, and you can scry with that water. Scrying with mirrors and stuff like that. You can also do that. Just make sure you do a little bit of research on that, just to make sure that you're grounded and protected, okay? Because, mirrors are very powerful divination tools, okay? But whatever it is that you want to do to try and connect, right? It doesn't have to be anything, or you can, get all of your tools and tricks of the trade, all right? But it could certainly be some sort of messages from the beyond, and it could be bringing you clarity, right? Because we do have the darker energy of the midnight hour, but we've got the sun creeping in, we've got the light creeping in. So this can certainly represent where maybe you're getting some sort of information, some download, some sort of epiphany or clarity on something, and it's because you've quieted your conscious mind and you've just connected with energy. And this is quite often where we do get the answers that we seek. Your tarot cards, what do we have? We have the Hanged Man and we have the Knight of Pentacles. All right. Patience is a virtue. Okay. Now, very interesting, because the Hanged Man is where we take a step back. We let something go and we allow our energy to flow. We're stepping into the flow and we get an epiphany. Very interesting. So there may be some information that you've been looking for, right? Scorpio can be where we get information, right? Investigative energy. But we certainly can get enlightenment, spiritual growth, transformation, get information coming to you. And so with this Hanged Man energy, sometimes we do need to step back. We do need to look at things in a different perspective, or we do need to look at the big picture. And this is where we figure something out. It's like, there it is. That's the answer I was looking for. I never thought to look over there. I was looking here. So sometimes we can get a little bit of a surprise and find a resolution. But this can certainly be where we get some sort of clarity or epiphany, because we have surrendered, because we've let things go, and because we haven't overthought it, right? When we overthink something, we quite often block something. So just allow the energy to flow, and you may be very surprised by the result. But the Hangman also requires patience, okay? So it's an energy of waiting as well. And with the Knight of Pentacles, I'm not surprised, you may have been waiting for something for a while. So you could potentially have something coming to fruition for you at this time, okay? And it can have to do with your money or your career, Knight of Pentacles. Okay. This is also a time where you might need to pay very close attention to something. The Knight of Pentacles is very much detail oriented. Okay. That's why he's so slow. So there could be some details that you need to pay attention to, especially if you're signing any contracts or anything like that, any loan documents or anything like that. Make sure you ask all the right questions. Make sure you get all the information that you need to make an informed decision, and don't skip over the fine print, okay? The Knight of Pentacles is the energy where he takes his time with the fine print, okay? And it's not that there's anything bad there. It's just usually that's where the things that kind of trip us up somewhere down the road happen to lie, right? They're in the fine print for a reason, because someone doesn't want you to see them in front of your face. So they are worth paying attention to, usually those little clauses, right? But the Knight of Pentacles is also saying to you that success is on the horizon, and it's because of your dedication and your commitment that you will get to where you want to get to. So if you've been waiting for something to happen, for some change, right? This can be a time for you where you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, right? We've got a clock on there in the midnight hour, and this is where something can happen. But this can also highlight that you need to do something to change your situation as well, instead of just sitting there with the Hanged Man waiting for something to happen. What can you do to accelerate your progress in some way? Okay, now the Knight of Pentacles can bring you information, but it can also bring you invitations and opportunities, job offers, improvements, increases, raises. Can also be where, maybe you've been holding on to something for a long time, Hangman, and now you're going to have to buy something new. Okay, and that can be your technology perhaps with that as well. So whether you're spending money or whether you're bringing money in, whatever it happens to be for you, it doesn't necessarily have to be about money. Taking your time and paying attention to detail and using your resources wisely will have a positive result that you are looking for. Your fortune. Happiness comes from giving, not getting. This month, remember the ancient proverb, one generation plants the trees, another gets the shade. Your actions today can positively or negatively affect generations to come, so act wisely. Your lucky numbers: 35, 46, 48, 28, 16, and 44. That's what I have for you guys. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this new moon. We're going to move on now to Libra. Hello there, Libra, and welcome to your new moon in Scorpio reading. This is highlighting your second astrological house of money. The second house is ruled by Taurus, and Venus would be the planetary ruler for that one. So this is all about your money, your resources, your income, how you make it, how you make your money, how you spend your money. And it also has to do with your values and your self-worth. So there could be something that you are changing in your life that brings you in, a sense of, I know who I am, I know my worth, and I'm no longer going to let anyone undermine me and take my power away. So you could very much be taking your power back. You could also be having some changes that you want to make or that are happening with your money and your income. This can be where you open up a new business, maybe you start a new job. You could be finding new investment opportunities. You could be changing where and how you invest your money for your future, right? You're setting yourself up for a better tomorrow. This can certainly represent your money, okay? And with Scorpio energy, new moon in Scorpio, ruling the 8th house of other people's money or shared money, you could potentially have a power struggle, okay? Remember, we've got Mars in Cancer, right? With an opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. Mine versus theirs. My time versus someone else's time. My workspace, someone else's workspace. My home versus my career, okay? Your money, my money versus someone else's money. If there's an imbalance of power somewhere there, then you could have this struggle. Especially, and money can create arguments like there's no tomorrow. Especially, so you could be potentially making some very important decisions about money and finances. If you are, for example, in a personal relationship and maybe you're at the point where you're going to move in together with your person, and this can be where you're making some very critical 29th degree Capricorn, critical decisions about whether do we blend our money together? Do we keep our separate bank accounts? How do we balance out our financial responsibilities within our home? Mars in Cancer, taking action on that, right? What do we need to change even with money, right? You could have some changes going on with money and finances where you might be about to make some more money, but and now this can bring about an imbalance in income in your household, that kind of thing. And this can create a little bit of drama. Or this is just where we look at it and go, okay, you know what? We need to reassess our money. And I now make this much money. You make this much money. Let's figure out, are we really balanced our responsibilities fairly? Are we paying the right amount of money each into our bills? Or is one person left with no money at the end of their paycheck and the other person still has lots of cash, right? So sometimes we need to figure out what that balance of responsibilities is with our money. So just know that there is a little bit of an opposition here, between a potential opposition for some of you, between the things that you own, the things you possess, the money that you have, and the money you share or with other people, or the responsibilities that you have with other people there as well. But some of you could be setting yourself up for an increase of money here. Also, okay, set the intentions, right? If you want money, this is a great opportunity for you to manifest money into your life. We have Lady de los Muertos here, and of course, this is the Day of the Dead, the Lady of the Night coming in there. And so, of course, this is a great time for you to connect with the beyond, to connect with spirit, and of course our ancestors, our past loved ones. Light a candle, put out an offering, that kind of thing. But you could also be maybe have an opportunity to attend like a Day of the Dead festival, right? They're very lively, very colorful, and they're fun, right? And you would think that it's kind of a little bit morbid, right? We're, celebrating our ancestors, or we're celebrating this Day of the Dead thing, but it's actually really quite beautiful, right? Because we should remember and celebrate our ancestors and our past loved ones. Why not? And this is the day that that does happen. But this energy here does bring along a message of acceptance and equality. And we were just discussing equality in your world, especially with your money, resources, responsibilities, and especially with any other people. So have a look in your life. Are things in balance? Are things equal? Are they fair? If not, what do you need to do to change? And the acceptance energy is really that reminder. Sometimes we have inner turmoil because we're railing at the fates, and we're wishing something could be a little bit different, but that prevents us from moving forward. We need to recognize that and accept that there are certain things that we can change, certain things that are within our control, but there's other things that are not. And when we accept the difference between the two, life becomes a little bit easier. Accept and make peace and amends with the past so that you can have a better tomorrow, and so that you can find a little bit of freedom in your energies, right? In your thoughts, in your feelings, right? Accept the things that you can change and accept the things that you cannot. We also have here hearth. Happiness in our hearts and homes. It's a beautiful energy for you. It's a beautiful blessing. Okay. The hearth energy brings in the warm and fuzzies. So some of you, perhaps, it's fiery energy as well. But the hearth energy. Are you happy in your home life? Are you happy with your money the way it is? Are you happy with yourself? Right? And again, the second house can certainly be about your self-worth. And, is someone making you feel powerless, or is someone making you feel unworthy of something? Time to flip the script on that. This hearth energy is bringing you in warmth, comfort, joy, happiness, and really bringing in the focus on that. This can also represent that you may have some really positive things that are going on in your house and your home at this time. Let's get, we have a tarot card to flip over for you guys as well. And we've got the 5 of Wands. Okay, so just remember there could be a little bit of conflict or a little bit of drama. Okay, the 5 of Wands can certainly represent some very strong personalities, all with, kind of a different opinion, that kind of thing. Everyone's vying to be heard or have their needs met. So, and that can sometimes bring about some disagreements, some conflicts, and some drama. So there could be potentially some people-y energy here for you guys. This can represent that there could be some drama and conflict coming in for you at this moon, and especially, of course, when it comes to money. Right? Nothing really has more of an argument factor quite often than finances, right? We all have different ideas about money, and especially if we don't have enough of it, right? Things can get quite heated there. So remember, try and work together and find compromise. We're always going to have some conflict. We're always going to have different ideas. Right? We're always going to have maybe someone that doesn't always, play nice in the sandbox, but it's how we deal with that conflict that, brings about the either positive consequences that we're looking for, the positive outcome, or it can really have some negative consequences there. Okay, so just be aware of some heightened energies and some heightened drama that may come in here for you at this time, but also know, all right, that if you're willing to compete for what you want, you can bring about the positive changes that you desire. Your fortune. Pay more attention to personal grooming. Self-care is the key to unlocking your inner radiance and confidence. Let your outward looks mirror the beauty and the competence within. Grooming rituals are chances to cherish yourself and honor your body. Use them to polish the gem of your spirit, allowing your true essence to shine brightly to the world. As you attend to the details of your appearance, trust that your efforts will be noticed by others. A well-ordered personal appearance speaks volumes about everything from your competence to your desirability. It will open doors to newfound opportunities and connections. Grooming is a ritual of self-expression. Those who care for themselves draw admiration and joy. So the funny thing is that your second house, right, is Taurus energy, Venus energy, and yes, it does, really highlight your money, but it also does highlight your self-worth, your values, right? And it is ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet of self-love, self-care, beauty, right? And creativity, love of all kinds, right? So it really does very much tie in with all of that. So take care of yourself and you'll feel better. Your lucky numbers: 80, 22, 11, 53, 79, and 60. That's what I have for you, Libra. Thank you for watching. Good luck in this new moon. We're going to move on now to Scorpio. Hello there, Scorpio, and welcome to your new moon reading. This is, of course, all about you. This is the new moon in your sign. This is the astrological new year for you guys as well. So you can really use this energy to hit the reset button. Is there something that you want to do over, something that you really want to change? And this is very specifically about you. When we have a new moon in your sign, it's in your first astrological house, which is all about you, your outlook on the world, your personal goals, the things that you want to accomplish, the things you want to change. Sometimes this is about your appearance, that face that you put on for the world, right? And a lot of people, when we do have a new moon in your sign, sometimes, you might change your haircut, or maybe you get a new wardrobe, or maybe add a few key little pieces in there that are, that kind of spruce up your existing wardrobe without spending a lot of money. You could try something new. Maybe you're wanting to be a little bit of a daredevil at this time as well, right? So just try something that you've never done before. Maybe there's something where you want to really break a barrier down and face a fear and do something that really freaks you out, right? And then it doesn't have to be life-changing necessarily. It can just be something small, but it's big to you because you're afraid of it. Maybe you're afraid of heights and you decide to go skydiving or something like that. I actually did have a friend once that actually did that. The first time she went up in the plane, she was crying in the back and she didn't jump out, but she got it back up and she did it again. And it was like the best day of her life because she proved to herself that her fears do not have the power over her, right? And so this can be a really great time for you where you do face your fears and you take your personal power back. You're not going to let fear debilitate you in any way. So whatever your situation is, whatever you've got going on, whatever new things that you want to start, whatever new direction of life that you want to embark upon, now is this time for you. Very transformative for you. Also very spiritual in its energy. You could really be experiencing some personal change, some personal growth and healing, but also some spiritual as well. So really take advantage of this energy. I love that this one came out for you. We've got scrying coming out here with intuition. Now, scrying, of course, is a very ancient divination practice, and we can use the crystal ball. I've got one sitting over here. It has angel wings that appear every once in a while. They're not there all the time though. So we've got, the crystal ball, but you can also do scrying with a mirror with some black onyx, shiny surface. You can do scrying with a candle. You can also do scrying by staring at the clouds, right? Just sitting back and whether it's a rainy day, a stormy day, or if it's a sunny day, right? You can, scrying is one of those Scrying, especially if looking for shapes in the clouds, is very old, a very old practice. So whatever your divination practice is, there's messages that are easy for you to get, easy for you to connect to, and easy to come through at this time. Maybe you want to try something new, and maybe you already kind of dabble in some tarot cards or oracle cards or something, and now you're like, I'm kind of going down a little bit of a rabbit hole. So scrying in some form, maybe your cup of tea. But it's all about your intuition and your spiritual self, trusting your intuition. Where do you want to make change? What do you need to let go of? What signs, symbols, synchronicities are you seeing? Very magical time for you to manifest something new into your life and make those really positive changes. So trust in your personal magic, all right, because it lies within you. We have the Four of Swords coming out here for you guys as well. So, big message here for you guys. I mean, the Four of Swords is a card of rest and relaxation. It's one of inner peace, outer peace, peace of mind, right? But it is one of meditation and connecting with yourself, your higher self, and with the beyond. So again, a big opportunity here for you guys to get some sort of insight, downloads, guidance, whatever it happens to be. Connect with the spirit realm, whatever that looks like to you. Very exciting for you guys. Let's get your fortune here for you. Your fortune. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. Take risks and venture out of your comfort zone. If you don't move beyond where you are today, you will never have more or be more. There is a trip you have been thinking of taking. Go. You will make some valuable new contacts. Interesting. Your lucky numbers: 39, 25, 50, 3, 8, and 32. Leave that there for you guys. I love that there's an 8 in there, okay? Eighth sign of the zodiac, 8th house. Very significant. Anyways, use those numbers as you wish. But I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a magnificent new moon. We're going to move on now to Sagittarius. Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your new moon in Scorpio reading. This is happening for you in your 12th astrological house. Now, this can be highly significant for you on a spiritual level because the 12th house is the things that we do in private, right? The things that we do, for example, spiritual practice, right? For a lot of people, it is a solitary activity. If there's changes that you want to make or there's healing that you're doing, right? The 12th house is where we take a step back and we find a little quiet, a little alone time. The 12th house can also be some significant endings. And of course, we are about to head into your astrological new year in just a few weeks. And so you might be really wanting to spend a little time on your own in quiet contemplation or solitude, or maybe you want to engage in some meditation or, divination practice as well. Very spiritual is the 12th house. And this can be really beneficial for you and your energy, right? You are very creative, very innovative. You're quite often very much on the go. You inspire other people, whether you realize it or not, whether it's intentional or not. And sometimes we do need a little bit of downtime from all of that. So this can be your great opportunity for you to do that, right? 12th house can also be where something is hidden, where you may be discovering something. Or there could be something that is revealed to you, something that was previously not available to you, whether it was because it wasn't the right time or whether maybe you weren't in the right energy to really shine a light on it. So you could certainly have some sort of mystery that is revealed. By the same token, you could be preparing to share with the world what you have been working on behind the scenes. Have you been working on a project? Is there something that you've been doing on your own? Have you been learning about, tarot and things like that? Maybe you're going to come out of the divination closet, if you will, and, you're going to be like, yeah, I do this. Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at it, and you maybe give a couple of readings, just for maybe a little bit of practice. And so it can be really quite interesting, but the 12th house is ruled by Pisces. It's Pisces energy, 12th sign of the zodiac. And of course, like we said earlier, we do have a trine to Saturn in Pisces at the time of this new moon. So this can be, and of course, this new moon is at the 9th degree, which is a Sagittarian degree. So there's a lot of influence that this new moon can have on you. Great for manifestation, great for healing, for wrapping things up, but really great for getting a vision of the future, especially with that Saturn in Pisces. It's a very positive aspect there, very supernatural, very psychic, very creative though as well. So it's really your time to create something that you want, something that you desire, turn your visions, your goals, your dreams into reality. Set a plan, set a goal. That's that Saturn influence there. It's like, come on, turn your dreams into reality. What do we need to do first, right? Where do we need to go from here? Let's put an outline together, right? Saturn very organized that way, right? So, but it can be really exciting for you guys. So take advantage. We have eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. Now, this is really interesting for you because, of course, I mean, we've got, skeletons, right, on this particular card. It's Halloween Oracle, so it has skulls and skeletons and all those kind of things. But with this energy, this can be, number one, a reminder to love yourself, right? We've got a partnership on this particular card. So, when is the last time you did connect with your higher self or with your spirit guides, right? Eternally with you, and they always forever love you and will help you and will guide you and will protect you on your journey, right? Even those times when you feel all alone or you feel lost, we've got to trust that our guides are there picking us up when we are at our darkest hour, right? And rejoicing and cheering us on when we have those great achievements, right? So that love that is all around you is eternal. This can also represent, if you are single here, Saggy, okay, there could potentially be a love interest that walks into your life, and with the two skeletons on here, eternal love, it can certainly be someone from a past life, a soulmate, a twin flame, that kind of thing. And in some way you have met each other before, and perhaps, in past lives it didn't quite work out for whatever reason. And this could be the time when you do partner up, right? So this can be a really good opportunity for you to manifest love into your life. But whatever it happens to be, this can also be your connection with your spirit world, right? With your ancestors, your past loved ones. So if you have been grieving, if you've been mourning, or maybe you've just been thinking about someone that has passed on, this is a great time to honor them, right? You can connect with them a little bit easier, light a candle, set out an offering, if they perhaps liked particular flowers, maybe you get a couple of flowers and you put them beside a candle. And, as you light that candle, you set the intention that, you are thinking about them and, you want to connect with them, that kind of thing, right? It can be really quite as simple as that. If you have been grieving over a past loved one, the 12th house can be a dark place. And it's something that people have kind of gotten away from talking about a little bit, but the 12th house can be a scary place, right? It can be a dark place. It can be where we really go into that shadow land. And, so this can be where you are processing some grief and some loss, whether it's something from your recent past or maybe something from long ago, because things can come up, right? And as we experience personal and spiritual growth, right, these things do crop up, and we do find something that we have instead of processing it or completely healing from it, right, we find that we sometimes do bury something. Right. And so this can be that opportunity to really get something out in the open and to process some grief properly. Have the big ugly cry. Okay. If you need to have a big ugly cry, you go. You have that ugly cry. It can be so cleansing. And quite often we feel better after it. Right? So we're getting it out, right? We're getting it out of the system. But whatever your situation happens to be, love is all around you. We've got the Tower. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. So we do have the Tower coming in here for you with this moon. So this can be clarity that comes in. This can be epiphany or a revelation. 12th house, a secret, right? Something comes to light. But the tower, people are often, very uncomfortable or very afraid when the tower comes out because it's something falling away or something that is shifting or changing suddenly, whether it's something within us or something externally. But the thing is what is being shaken loose is something that is hindering our growth, hindering our progress, hindering our way forward. And it's those things that we don't want to carry with us, the baggage that we carry with us, the pain, the grief, the hurts, the regrets, right, that we carry with us. And so what happens is when we get this energy, we can get an epiphany moment, right? We can get clarity and, oh my goodness, this is why I've been blocked. And the whole purpose of the tower is to get you unstuck. Right? So whatever is not working, whatever is holding you back, this is a time of release and letting go, right? And we are sometimes afraid of the tower because it feels like we're losing stuff, right? It feels like we're letting things go. And as humans, we like to accumulate things, right? But when we do let those things go, it's the stuff that's not really fitting anymore. And it's, we're left with a foundation though. And what we're doing is we're clearing the path for a new beginning. We're clearing the path for a better tomorrow. We're clearing the path for something a little bit different. And it's like a little bit of a metamorphosis that's coming in here. But it's fun. It's shifty. It's fun. Like, it's not really shifty. That doesn't sound too good. It's a sudden shift. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Right? So it's sudden, unexpected surprise and change, right? And quite often it is internal. It can quite often be your way of thinking, okay? Or it can quite often be where, oh my goodness, I see the light, right? But when we crumble, when we change, when we let things go, we're making room for that better tomorrow. So it can be scary, right? But it can also be very enlightening and very freeing. And you do not like to be held back, held down. You like your freedom to change and expand and to grow and explore your horizons, right? The tower helps get us out of our comfort zone. So something is going to happen quite quickly, suddenly, unexpectedly. Expect the unexpected, okay? And again, we are cleansing and purging with this energy. And this only sets you up for a better new year. Remember, you are right around the corner from a new moon in your sign. Ooh, double card. A new moon in your sign, which is on the 30th of November, right? So not too far away. So really time to shake things up. Now, I got 2 fortune cards that came out here for you guys. So you got a twofer, right? It's your lucky day. So your first fortune card. If you give a monkey a typewriter, eventually it will learn how to type a word. In life, sometimes the best way to succeed at something new is to throw yourself into it. You will never be completely ready for a new opportunity or project. It's time to dive in and learn as you go. You will soon realize that most successful people have gotten where they are today with this mentality. Your lucky numbers, your first set of lucky numbers: 8, 14, 18, 21, 29, and 40. And your second fortune card: you have been missing someone who does not miss you back or who is no good for you. It is time for you to let go and accept that this person is not meant for your life. Take the love you once had for this person and invest it in other places. Put your love in worthy people and things. Turn the passion you had with this person into passion for your hobbies. Stop using your energy on this person and start using it to enrich your own life. Your second set of lucky numbers: 9, 11, 25, 27, 32, and 39. That's what I have for you, Saggy. You went a little deep, but that's what I have. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this new moon, and we are going to move on now to Capricorn. Hello there, Capricorn, and welcome to your new moon in Scorpio reading. This is happening in your very sparkly 11th house. Now, your 11th house can be a very social energy, so you might find yourself wanting to get out and meet new people. Maybe you feel a little bit more sociable at this time. I mean, Pluto's still in your sign until the 19th of November, but Pluto's direct now, right? So you might feel yourself getting outside a little bit more, re-engaging with your community, that kind of thing. But you can also be getting out and meeting new people, meeting new groups of people as well. The 11th house can certainly have to do with your social networking and your social media, that kind of thing. But your 11th house is also about your wishes. So make a wish with this new moon, because you just never know what may happen. And of course, you're about to go through a big shift because you are about to toss Pluto to the wayside and shove it in the sign of Aquarius. And you're like, I'm out of here. I'm done. Hasta la vista. So you could be really you could be really in the very next couple of weeks feeling like a big weight has been lifted off your shoulders, like a lot of responsibility maybe even has been lifted off your shoulders. And you could, of course, have something very magical that may happen for you. We have eternal love coming out here. Now, some of you may have a connection with Sagittarius because they also actually did get this particular card, okay? Or this can represent that when we get into Sagittarian season, that'll be on the 21st of November. And of course, we've got a Sagittarian new moon on the 30th. There can be something a little bit magical that may happen around that time. But we have eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. Now, this can be, of course, with this particular new moon being Scorpio and really connected with our ancestors, right? This can be an opportunity for you and a highlight for you to connect, right? Social, okay? We can be social with the beyond, right? But to connect with your ancestors, right? Now, this can be, some recently passed loved ones, maybe a pet even, or this can be, people that have long since passed, right? But it's a great time to honor the people that you love in this lifetime, but also have loved in past lifetimes, or the ones that have passed on, okay? There is that connection that is available for you there. It can be, you don't have to be a medium or anything like that to connect with people. Many cultures have like a little altar and, and something to honor their past loved ones. And it can be like a little picture on a table with a candle and a flower beside it, right? Or maybe you put out an offering, for that person. It could be a couple of cookies or, again, maybe their favorite scent, their favorite flower. And, by lighting a candle and just setting that intention to connect with this person, you just might be really surprised about what kind of sign you might get. It can be, a smell, right? It can be a scent. Maybe you smell some perfume, you smell some flowers. When my grandmother is near, I smell Pall Mall cigarettes. Most of the time. Every once in a while, she blesses me with the talcum powder, which is even better, because I can't stand the smell of cigarettes. But I love the fact that my grandma's there, and I know she's there. So, so you just never know. You could see an animal or something walk by, or maybe you find a feather somewhere, right? So anything like that. But it can also represent the eternal love that your spirit guides, right? The people in the supernatural, okay? The supernatural, the 5D world, right? The beyond, the veil, okay? This can be that reminder that no matter where you are in your life, they are always with you. They're always helping you and guiding you, and they have that eternal love for you, right? And so maybe give thanks to them, even if you maybe don't know if they're there. They're always there. Trust that they're always there. Okay, they're always there to help and guide you, right? And sometimes they make their presence maybe a little bit more known than at other times, right? But set that intention. If you really do need a sign or some help, just ask for that, and you'd be surprised what you may get. But remember to love yourself also, okay? Be the love that you want to see in the world. And if more of us did that, honestly, the world would be a much better place. We have the 8 of Wands here for you guys. Woo! This can be super exciting for you. The 8 of Wands, a lot of activity, a lot of action. This can really remind you about the intentions that you set and you put out into the universe. They're hitting their mark. This can be some really good news that could be on the horizon for you here, something that is related to your manifestations, to your intentions, to the things that you really want. But this is about fast forward momentum as well. So again, we're direct, right? We're going forward, we're moving and we're shaking and we're getting out, we're having fun, we're meeting people, and it can be a very exciting while busy energy there with that. But you could potentially get some good news. Some of you could even be making some travel plans. But we do have the 9 of Wands. as well. Okay, so just be aware with this Eight of Wands energy. Interesting. Okay, Eight of Wands energy. Don't overdo it, because then you need some R&R with the Nine of Wands. Okay, the Nine of Wands is, a little bit of wounded energy, very tired. But if we are wrapping things up, we are getting things done. So it feels like you're on the cusp of something. And of course you are, with Pluto leaving your sign. It is the cusp of something very big. It is not a small event. It is a big event, right? And it's a huge astrological event. So this is a time to rejoice. It is a time to, to move forward, or to make some bold moves, as you will. But the Nine of Wands reminds you as well to take care of yourself. Okay, that don't overdo it with this Eight of Wands. Okay, it might be really exciting, and just don't spread yourself too thin, because then you'll end up needing a nap. Right? Then you'll end up needing to replenish your batteries, right? Whereas the Eight of Wands, we can handle it. We got it. It's not a problem. All right. But the Nine of Wands does say that there's something that is completing for you, whether it's something small, whether it's something big, whether it's the planetary aspects that we've got going on. But remember to take care of yourself, because the Nine of Wands is like a wounded warrior kind of energy, and so this can be where we're recognizing what we need to heal within ourselves, or in our environment, or with people around us. And it is that reminder that sometimes we do need to really take a time out, take a step back, right? And, find a little quiet time for ourselves there. The Nine of Wands can be a little skeptical energy. So it is a requirement here, okay, to trust your intuition, trust what you see and feel. All right, because, sometimes you could be getting some sort of information, some messages, some guidance, and, it's always on point. It's always right there. But when you second guess it, this is where we go a little bit sideways. So trust your intuition, and trust the signs, symbols, and synchronicities that you may see at this time. So let's get you a fortune card with your lucky numbers on there. And we have your fortune. Onyx was made especially for you. Wear it, and good luck will follow you. Don't let opportunity knock at your door in vain. Grasp it, and the course of your life will be different. You will be very happy with the one you have chosen for your life's companion. Be patient. Those who have tried to interfere with your happiness will soon find they have no influence on your loved one. You seem to be very impetuous and outspoken. This has caused your dear one some moments of unhappiness. Curb your temper, and not only will you be happier, but healthier too. And your lucky numbers: 14, 2, 3, 19, 22, and 33. Those are your messages, Capricorn. I hope you have a wonderful new moon. I thank you for watching. Moving on now to Aquarius. Hello there, Aquarius, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. We've got your 10th astrological house highlighted for you. This is all about your career, your reputation, honors, recognition. So you could potentially be here setting about a new beginning for a new job, for a new role, maybe something that pays you a little bit more. You could be getting recognized for your experience, for your wisdom that you bring to the table, right? And your ability to make change and to get things done, and maybe see things a little bit differently than your average Joe, right? You are a very futuristic sign, and you do have that innate ability to see opportunities, or to see an answer to the problem that other people can't quite see. It's like, catch up. Come on, people. Get with the program. So you see things a little bit differently, but you could be really appreciated for all of that at this time. And if you're not being appreciated, and if you're not getting the promotions that you justly deserve and that you've worked hard for, if you're not being recognized for your true potential, then this is where you might be making some change for yourself, okay? But you could have some life-changing event, whether it's by your own hand or whether it's a result of past deeds that you have already done. But it can be very exciting. And, the thing is with this 10th house energy, Pluto is about to go in your sign on the 19th. right? And it's like the end of an era, right, of Pluto and Capricorn. But Capricorn is your 10th house energy, right? Focus on your goals and your career path and things like that. So this can be an energy because Pluto is shifting into your sign, and because of the very last degree of Capricorn right now, you might be feeling a sense of urgency right now to get your goals in motion, or to get something wrapped up, or to make some significant change that betters you for the future. So if you're feeling a sense of urgency, okay, or you're feeling like a clock is ticking, it very well could be that it is, okay? So set your intentions, try something new, look beyond where you are right now to the possibilities and the potential that the future holds for you. And there could just be a little bit of magic in the air for you guys, all right? We have spider energy coming out, community and web weaving. All right. And the thing is, a lot of you are light workers, you're healers, you're guides for other people, whether you ask for that role or not. And people do tend to look up to you, or they look to you for guidance, right? Because you just know stuff. Aquarius, right? You're like, you might just have all kinds of weird information, and people are like, how do you know that? And you're like, I don't know, I just pay attention, right? And so you could be very much in a position where you might be looking for new ways to help people, give back to your community in some way. And this can be very rewarding for you, on a personal level, an emotional level, a spiritual level, right? Giving back to others, because you are the humanitarian of the group, right? And sometimes we do need to, giving to others or helping others comes naturally to you. But I feel like here, just, how a spider goes back into its little hole, right? Comes out to do whatever it needs to do to create a web or to collect whatever it's caught, that kind of thing. But it goes back into the darkness to have a nap, or to replenish its energy, or to just wait for something patiently to land in its web. So this is a reminder that, as wonderful as it is to put yourself out there, help other people, and, it is that reminder to take care of your own self as well, okay? Don't spread yourself too thin. Web weaving as well is very creative. So again, there's a lot of creative energy that is coming out here for you guys to make those changes, make transformations in your life, to create the life that you want, to make those changes for the future, right? Your ability to create is very, very much on point right now. So whatever that does look like to you. We have the Six of Swords. All right, moving forward, moving on. Now, the funny thing is with the Six of Swords, right? If you may be going through a bumpy patch, maybe even going through some uncertainties, maybe there's been some inner turmoil within you, the Six of Swords is one of those messages where it says, you may have been going through some turbulent times, some bumpy times, some times where it maybe feels a little bit uncomfortable. But you're about to move forward into that better tomorrow. Things are about to settle down for you a little bit, which is a very interesting energy, considering Pluto is going into your sign. And Pluto sometimes kind of shakes things up a little bit, especially when it parties with your modern ruler Uranus, right? It's like, woohoo, what trouble can we get up to? But it's really a lot about your attitude, right? When you take a cool, calm, collective approach at something, right? And when you look at something with a different set of eyes, rather than getting all freaked out and all wrapped up in knots, and you look at something in a different way, you look at something in a calm way, things are easier to navigate for ourselves, right? So it's like, this stuff is coming. That there's a massive planetary shift for you that will only ever happen once in your lifetime, and the only time this will ever happen in your lifetime, right? So it's a big deal. But you know about it, you're aware of it, so it becomes a lot easier to navigate, especially when you have control over your emotions, right? And you don't let your emotions or your reactions dictate how your energy is and what happens around you. So you're a lot calmer in this energy. But I do feel like there's something here that's going to get resolved. Whether you resolve something in yourself, you find your inner peace, whether it's finding a compromise with someone else by having that calm conversation. Remember at the beginning of your reading, I talked about Mars in Cancer with the opposition to Pluto in Capricorn, right? It can be some turbulence that goes on there, to say the least, right? And this can really show that, even though there may be that energy going on where there is a potential there for arguments and fights and anger. By keeping a calm attitude and by communicating in a peaceful, loving, kind, compassionate way, and with the open heart and the open mind to compromise on something, we can move forward in a very healthy way. But no matter what your situation is, there's calm, smooth sailing ahead for you. But it is a movement card, right? So it is one of taking steps. It is one of moving forward and perhaps even making some sort of change. Your fortune card we've got for you here. It's time to kick a bad habit. We all do things that feel good for a moment but cause lasting harm. Time to end the unhealthy cycle. Don't worry if it seems impossible. Remember that no matter what goal you choose, millions of people have already successfully accomplished it. If the test seems too difficult, think about how your life will change if you succeed. The new you will be free of a ball and chain. Think how proud such an act of self-mastery will make you feel. Think how much it will impress the people who matter to you. It's not just a challenge, it's a doorway to a greater prospects and success. All you need is the will to accomplish it. Your lucky numbers: 98, 33, 46, 29, 11, and 10. That's what I've got for you, Aquarius. I thank you for watching. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic new moon, and we'll move on now to Pisces. Hello there, Pisces, and welcome to your new moon in Scorpio reading. So this is happening and highlighting your 9th astrological house for you. Now, this has to do with your higher mind, with your higher level of education. This can have to do with long distance travel, trips somewhere. This can also represent meeting people or connecting with people from a foreign land. And maybe you learn something about a different culture, right? Maybe you learn something about a little bit of history, right? So whatever it happens to be, some of you could be planning a trip. Maybe you have some travel plans that, maybe you wanted to go to a certain place and that hasn't been quite working out. And so you choose a new path, a new direction there, right? This can be certainly about your beliefs. And some of you are having some very, very big changing beliefs. It's not even a sentence. Okay, that sounded silly. Your belief systems are changing. Thank you very much. So, are you getting in deeper with spirit? Are you expanding your spiritual self, your spiritual mind? Are you finding conflict, right? We do have a conflict energy coming in here with this new moon, right? And so sometimes we are a little bit conflicted. We start to question our old, outdated belief systems, or the ones that we didn't think were old and outdated until we started to discover all these other new things all around us, right? So now maybe we're trying to reconcile that energy and we're like, but I still kind of believe and take comfort in some of this over here, but I also believe this. How do I make things mesh, right? Instead of battling, right, would I have to choose this or this? Maybe we find a way to blend things together, and you certainly can, right? No one says that you can't. I'm sure there are people that say you can't, but you certainly can, right? There are people that are very spiritual in their energy. And, they do energy work or they do divination practice, but they also are Christian and they believe in God and all this kind of stuff. So, so the two can blend together and can mesh together, right? So you could be questioning beliefs. You could be changing your belief systems. You could just be questioning things, asking more questions, right? Expanding your mind. Very philosophical kind of energy with the 9th house. And so this can be quite interesting for you. But you could be wanting to go back to school, learn something new, right? New beginnings here. And of course, with this being associated not just with new beginnings, but also with endings. Some of you are about to graduate and use your education to further your career. Perhaps Pluto and Capricorn, perhaps to expand your horizons, maybe go and live in another country or something like that, right? So it's just very, very worldly energy, very very educated, very philosophical energy, quest for knowledge, a thirst for experiences. So it can be really interesting for you guys. And we have the Skull of Flowers coming in here for you. It's a very beautiful card. You're the only sign that gets this one here, Pisces. Creating through the ashes. What a wonderful message for a new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio, of course, Scorpio energy is very much about the cycle of death, burning something away, but something rising from the ashes. Imagery, phoenix rising from the ashes. We've got to burn something down to create something new. So this is a time where you can create something out of nothing. This is a time when you can create a new life when maybe you've felt as though you've been through this giant metamorphosis where you've had to let all these things go. And it could be something on an emotional level. It could be something on a spiritual level. Perhaps even this philosophical belief system level, right, that we were just talking about. Whatever it is, out of the ashes of something that has crumbled and burned away, you have the energy here to create something new and something beautiful. So remember that death is just the beginning. The end is just the beginning of new life. Look at a forest that has caught on fire, right? It looks burnt, it looks dead, but then we go back a few weeks later, a couple of months later, and we've got green things that are starting to sprout. We've got, maybe little weeds that are popping up, and we see the life start to come back. So out of that crumbling away, something new is on the horizon for you. So believe in your ability to create something different, to create something that is uniquely yours, to create the future that you dream about, that you envision about. Very beautiful message. And we have the Death card. Okay, there's you. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you are the only sign to get the Death card. Okay, Scorpio energy. The Death card is Pluto energy, Scorpio energy, right? So with this Death card, again, Phoenix rising from the ashes. Something has crumbled and burned away, or something needs to crumble and burn away. Don't be afraid to light it on fire. Don't be afraid to let it crumble into ashes. Don't be afraid to let something go, because something beautiful is about to blossom. You are about to blossom. But this is very much about change and transformation on many levels. Believe in yourself. Be confident. Face your fears. Take your power back. Right? Because sometimes when we're going through some changes, or we've suffered loss and things like that, or we're questioning our belief systems even, right? It's fearful, right? We're afraid of that because we don't know where we're going with this, or we don't know where we're going to be in 6 months or a year. And we do quite often get afraid of letting things go. But there's some beautiful things on the horizon for you here. Change, transformation, evolution, growth, endings, new beginnings, next level, leveling up with something. But all these things are shifting for you, but in a really positive way, right? So if you have to let something go in order to step in something new, we're being called to do that. But remember your power. The Death card, Scorpio energy, ruled by Pluto, and Pluto can certainly highlight your personal power. Right? So if something had gotten control over you or taken your power away, it's time for you to take your mojo back, right? Very, very interesting that we should get that for you guys, Pisces. But remember, at this new moon, we also do have a trine with this new moon to Saturn in your sign. Very supernatural, very psychic, very creative, right? And of course, Saturn can help you to make the change that you want to make, to help you to set some goals, or to understand the lessons that you've been learning in your life here as well, right? So it can be very deeply mystical and magical for you on many levels. Love that. Love that energy. Super interesting for you guys. Make sure you do find some quiet time to engage in some meditation, or do some new moon rituals. You can also blend full moon rituals into this new moon as well, because we do have endings coming in with the Scorpio energy. And of course that can be about writing things down on a piece of paper, the things that you want to release, and then burning them away. Just make sure you practice fire safety. Okay, do it outside, or make sure you have a way to put out the flames or something like that, right? Because we are turning something that we are releasing into ash, and then we grow something new. Your fortune. Your future life will be very sunny. I see it in a chest full of money. Be free to spend it as you see fit, because there will be plenty more of it. You are a fortunate person. You are born under a lucky star, and that will carry you safely through all of your adventures. In time, your love life will be something for the world to talk about. You will be extremely happy. There will be those who envy you and try to harm you. Just really learn who your true friends are, and all will go very well with you. Your lucky stone is a ruby. Your lucky numbers: 1, 19, 16, 32, 40, and 8. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this new moon, and I will see you guys later. Bye.